Hello, everybody. Welcome in to the Tuesday, September 1st edition of Trending Politics Live. As you guys know, my name is Clayton Kearns here. I'm here with you every single day. I am so glad to be on here with you guys. We have a bunch of people pouring in, as always. You guys are amazing. It seemed like just yesterday we started this podcast. We actually started it on July 17th. And which means we're well over 30 episodes in. We do this Monday through Friday. I am so thankful to have you guys here. Clayton Kearns here from trendingpolitics.com. Please make sure to always check out our website all day, every day. We are in the top 3,000 websites in the country, according to SimilarWeb. And it's all because of you. Not top 3,000 political websites, top 3,000 websites in the United States of America. Because of each and every one of you guys. So please make sure that you're always checking us out over there at trendingpolitics.com. You guys, we have a lot to dive into. So look, let's get right into it, everyone. So I want to start off today by talking about what I consider to be the election night nightmare scenario. This report just came out this morning, you guys, and I absolutely had to share it with you guys. This is according to a Democratic analytics firm named Hawkfish. And right now, this article is on trendingpolitics.com, so go check it out. So let's read along here. So on Tuesday, Josh Mendelson, CEO of Hawkfish, made a startling prediction that President Trump might win the 2020 election on Election Day, but Biden would win a few days later with mail-in ballots. This is a quote. The reason we talk about a red mirage is in fact because we believe that on election night, we're going to see President Trump in a stronger position than he really actually is. We are sounding an alarm and saying that this is a very real possibility, that the data is going to show on election night an incredible victory for Donald Trump. The article continues. This is very important, you guys. Hawkfish estimates that a record 40% of registered voters will send in their ballots through the mail this election cycle, roughly doubling the number that it did in 2016 because of the coronavirus pandemic. However, as we all know, there are many, many problems with mail-in voting. Check out this part right here. In New York City, election officials discarded over 84,000 ballots, more than 20% of those sent in, for defects such as missing a signature or a late arrival during its primary. So the article continues. That is likely to be what we will see when every legitimate vote is tallied, and when we get to the final day, which will be the Sunday after Election Day, it will show that what happens on election night will be a mirage. It looked like Trump was in the lead and that he was fundamentally not when the votes get counted. And then the article finishes by saying, so states like Pennsylvania or Florida, it's in play by just a couple of points. And that's what tips it in one direction or another. If you were to essentially average battleground state polling, Joe Biden appears to be ahead by about 8%, which that's not accurate. But so if you have a number of ballot changes in a state like that, it's going to have huge consequences. You guys look at, all of us know the dangers of mail-in voting. All of us know how easy it is to manipulate mail-in voting. My dad, he lives in Los Angeles County, and he said that they got a ballot in the mail for my stepmom's mom, who is deceased. She passed away 5 years ago, but she got a ballot in the mail. Like, what stops people from voting more than once? What stops people from manipulating? And you guys, here's another reason why this is so incredibly scary in terms of a nightmare scenario for election night. So Alex Berenison, formerly of the New York Times, he does great work on the coronavirus. I encourage each and every one of you guys to follow him on Twitter. So he says, the election day / vote by mail split in this poll is terrifying. Trump leads by 20 points for live voting, but trails by 40 points for mail-in ballots. So in any close vote, Trump will lead on election night, but neither side will know who really won. And then he asks, you think the riots have been bad so far? And then he shows the image of this poll here. He says, voters planning to vote early in person are breaking for Trump 50 to 49%, while those who plan to vote in person on election break for the president 57 to 37. Voters that plan on voting by mail break for Biden 67% to 28%. Take a look at these polls. I'll leave it up here for another minute, you guys. But there is clearly a huge problem with mail-in voting. There is a huge problem with mail-in voting. What's to say that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats are not going to manipulate this vote? What's to say that they, I mean, you guys, when someone shows up to the door, ballot harvesters, you guys, listen, if you are physically able to, I highly encourage you to vote in person. Your vote needs to count. I do not want votes for President Trump being put up to the post office, you guys, okay? This is not something that we need. And so I don't know exactly how this is all going to play out. In my opinion, mail-in voting needs to be discredited in a big way over the next 60 days because we can't trust it. And the Democrats want to use it because they can't generate the enthusiasm in their voters to have them go out and vote in person, which is why they're pushing for this so hard. And furthermore, it's easy to manipulate, so they want to push this, you guys. I don't know what's going to happen. I still believe President Trump is going to win the election, but it gives me a very nervous feeling in my stomach when I think about the fact that we could all be here on this live stream on that beautiful election night. We see a sweeping victory, landslide victory for President Trump, and then suddenly a few days later, like I'm afraid that President Trump is going to win, and then we're not going to be able to celebrate the victory because we won't really know, because very few of the mail-in ballots are going to be counted at that time. Like, there's nothing that I hate more than a false celebration, than a false feeling of we won. Like, I want to be able to say we won, we did it. So here's my message to you if you're watching this. Get out and vote and leave no doubt. If any of you guys have seen the movie Remember the Titans, one of the final football games they're playing, the coach goes in to motivate them and it says, I want you to blitz on every play, leave no doubt in their minds who won this game. You guys, do whatever you can to get out there and vote. Do whatever you can to get your family out there to vote on election day, everyone. This is absolutely crucial, and we need to win this thing in November, you guys. So please keep that in mind. And if you are voting for President Trump in 2020, then if you're on Facebook or YouTube, comment below with a big Trump 2020 in all capital letters. I want to see them. I'm watching the comments right here. So I want to see huge Trump 2020 in the comments below. Do that. And that's also a friendly reminder is that if you are watching this on Facebook, please make sure to comment and like this post so Facebook shows us more of our content to you. And also, if you're on YouTube, I see you if you're not subscribing, because we get like over 10,000 views on some of these, but we only have like 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're watching this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell. And I want to see a huge Trump 2020, okay? Okay, so everyone, moving on to our next topic here. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting how a media narrative gets started. It's almost as if they're on some sort of text list or some sort of mail-in list to where they push a narrative. We're going to see CNN here start to blame President Trump for a race war. But I want you to pay close attention to the words race war, because I'm going to show you some examples that this is clearly a talking point that was dispersed to all the left-wing media. So let's bring up this clip here of CNN falsely accusing President Trump of a race war. Now, just remember, be prepared to see some mass hysteria, as always, from CNN. And watch this.
And let me start with you. I want your reaction first to what we're seeing in Portland and what we heard from the mayor.
Anna, let's call a thing a thing. This president, Donald John Trump, has instigated a race war in America. Portland, Oregon is ground zero. This president, Donald John Trump, has basically stoked the flames for racist extremists, neo-Nazis, and the alt-right. And they're even defending, this president is even defending Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old who went in Wisconsin and killed 2 protesters. So at the end of the day, the mayor of Portland is absolutely right. And there are those who are calling for help from this president in the stoking of a race war. There is a race war in America right now because of this president. People are calling me asking if there indeed is a way to get the International Crimes Court to come in to deal with this. You know, I've talked to some people who are in intelligence, and they're saying he's done heinous things, but they have to see. We don't know for sure.
All right, so that is April Ryan pushing a false narrative that President Trump is starting a race war. Now, before I talk about all of her ridiculous remarks, let's pay close attention to that word race war. Let's see if it's more prevalent on the internet. Oh, the Washington Post suddenly comes out on the same day. Opinion. Cornered. Trump tries to foment a race war. Wow. Well, that was interesting. Oh, but wait. There's more. Left-wing blue check liberals. Rick Wilson. Just a reminder. It's not like there's a plague sweeping the country. A race war being engineered out of the White House. Rob Reiner. Donald Trump is taking a page out of Charles Manson's playbook. Start a race war, then convince the public you alone can end it. Andrew Gillum, this may sound hyperbolic, but President Trump wants a race war. I wonder why suddenly these words are being used together more and more and more every single day. It's almost as if there is a coordinated effort to smear President Trump and push a false narrative on him, about him. Absolutely freaking ridiculous, you guys. And what April Ryan was saying there is total BS. She is literally blaming President Trump for the violence going on in Portland. Are you kidding me? The mayor of Portland, Ted Wheeler, has repeatedly refused federal help. He has repeatedly refused help from the federal government, the National Guard. He said that the National Guard was terrorizing Portland, when Portland activists and protesters and rioters were the ones throwing fireworks at police, were attacking police, attacking innocents, throwing Molotov cocktails, burning federal buildings on fire. Yet somehow it's President Trump's fault that all this is happening. President Trump starting a race war? I'm sorry. Was it President Trump who killed George Floyd? That's absolutely not what happened. They're blaming President Trump for all this. President Trump has simply all along stated that he wants law and order. Law and order, that is what he has always wanted. Yet somehow, the media finds a way to blame President Trump for it. And then she calls Kyle Rittenhouse, and I got to be careful with that name because the websites that you're watching this video on are cracking down very hard on this topic. So I will just refer to him as the young man. The young man who shot 2 people. Okay, so it's hard. I can't really say much because I spoke with an insider on certain media networks, and I can only talk about this topic in a certain way. So, guys, if this live stream gets taken down or if it gets deleted later, then oh well. We got to talk about the truth here. So, anyways, with this young man, he was shooting in self-defense against people who had guns and were going to shoot at him. So she smeared him. She's smearing President Trump, and now the media is joining in with a firing squad to blame President Trump for all the chaos going on in the United States of America. Really? Really? Okay. Well, the last thing I want to say about that is that President Trump can only do so much if the Democrat governors and mayors are refusing his help. I mean, if he were to send, he can't send it in against their will. They're saying that all of this is happening in President Trump's America, but these are Democrat-run cities where the chaos is running rampant. So President Trump's campaign just released a brand new ad. It's brutal. You have to see it.
The domestic enemies are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Flames rip through the lower level of St. John's Church.
And as you can see, there's definitely a fire here.
It's burning right now in the Fairfax district. Protesters confronted Republican Senator Rand Paul.
These people are tearing up our lives.
Man, bravo to that ad. Whoever created that ad, it is 100% accurate. It is 100% spot on. The Democrat liberal protesters are the ones wreaking havoc in the streets of the United States of America. And it's absolutely absurd that President Trump is being blamed for it. The Democrats know that with chaos, they can generate energy for votes, and that's why they're doing this. Guys, is there any coincidence that this is during an election year? Is there any coincidence that this is during an election year? I'm glad you guys are loving that ad. I think that the Trump campaign needs to be spending millions of dollars on that ad. Thank you guys for commenting on that. It's very, very good. Very well put. So, as many of you guys saw, President Trump last night was on with Laura Ingraham, and here's a few of the things he was saying. First of all, he talked about law enforcement, and while the young man in Portland, defended himself against people who were trying to kill him, at the end of the day, President Trump is correctly saying that we need to let law enforcement take things into their own hands, even though that sometimes they're not allowed to. Here's President Trump on that with Laura Ingraham.
Your supporters to confront the left-wing protesters, or do you want to leave it to law enforcement?
No, I don't want them. I want to leave it to law enforcement. But my supporters are wonderful, hardworking, tremendous people. And they turn on their television set, and they look at a Portland, or they look at a Kenosha before I got involved and stopped it. Or they look at Chicago, where 78 people were shot last weekend and numerous people died. Or they look at New York, where violence is up by 150%. It's up by a number that nobody, and people are leaving. They're looking at all of this, and they can't believe it. They can't believe it, whether it's my supporter or not.
But you don't want them showing up.
No, I don't. Well, it's a peaceful protest. I mean, they were protesting.
All right, so that's President Trump on that. When law enforcement is allowed to intervene, we got to let law enforcement do it, you guys. And then here's President Trump talking about how the Democrats are being run over by the radical left elements of the party.
The Democrats have lost control of the radical left. And if you look at Bernie and I call it the manifesto that was agreed to with Biden and his group, that's further left than Bernie ever was. They won't be able to control these people. These people have lost control.
And this is absolutely 100% correct, everybody. Joe Biden is so weak. He has lost control of everything. He is going to be overrun by the radical left. If you think that violence, guys, Joe Biden says that the violence is going to stop once he's elected. No, you guys, the violence is going to get worse when he's elected because it won't be condemned against Trump supporters. When Trump supporters are murdered in the streets by Antifa over the weekend, Joe Biden came out with a statement because he had to, because his poll numbers were suffering. That's why Joe Biden talked about it. But when he doesn't give a damn about approval numbers anymore, and when he doesn't give a damn about people going out to vote on November 3rd, he's not going to care about it. And then when the Democrat politicians who have become more and more extreme every single day, when they start encouraging this kind of violence, a Biden administration would be absolutely silent. Absolutely silent, and it makes me sick. President Trump also talked about the black vote, and I'm going to use this video here to transition into my next topic, because there is a chance that we could be seeing, despite the mail-in ballot voting concerns, that there could be a Trump landslide on the horizon, people. So let's watch this President Trump talking about the African-American vote here.
I've done criminal justice reform. I saved the historically black colleges and universities. What they went through is for years, including
with
Obama.
Funding.
Prison reform, criminal justice reform.
Next term.
Opportunity zone, more of the same. And in fact, I actually said in the speech, the best is yet to come. And I've been treated very well, at least in the polls. I hope that translates, because unfortunately, the African-American, the black community has been so used to going and oppressing the Democrat lever. And what have they got out of it? They've got nothing. Obama didn't give them criminal justice reform. I did. Obama didn't give them opportunity zones. I did. Obama didn't do all of the things, didn't save. Obama could have saved the historically black colleges and universities. He didn't do anything for them. He didn't do anything for them.
That, you guys, I'm telling you right now, I see a huge landslide coming, potentially, partly because of the minority vote. Guys, check out this poll here of minority voters. So this is according to a brand new poll, and basically from Atlas Intel, everyone. And basically they show Biden leading nationally 49-46, but national polls don't matter at all, people. National polls do not matter at all, because you got California, you've got New York, where they run up the score over there, you guys. But here's the big part where Democrats should be shaking in their boots. Among black voters, nationally, Biden only has 66%. Trump has 28%. Guys, even if this poll is half wrong with black voters, President Trump is going to win in a landslide. He's going to win a landslide in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Ohio. You guys, Minnesota. If these numbers are even half right, you guys, the Democrat Party needs 95% or more of the African American vote. And I would bet a very large sum of money that they are not going to get that this coming election. Hispanic voters, 41%. Now, this is also way higher than President Trump got in 2016. He only got 27% of the Hispanic vote in 2016. So you guys, if these numbers hold true, we are going to see a landslide of epic proportions here in the 2020 election, everyone. So to finish off the show, I'm just going to do a couple of quick hitting bits here. A little bit of hypocrisy, sprinkle in a little bit of media bias, and then finish off with the worst kind of bias that we've seen from a man who used to be very much so on President Trump's side, but I don't know what changed. Maybe we can talk about what we think changed. And actually, yeah, I'm going to finish off this topic, this live stream, with a little bit of a conversation, because I want to hear from you guys on it. Okay, so first and foremost, a couple days ago, Andrew Cuomo, the amazing governor of New York, he tweeted this out: "Wear a mask. Stop the spread. Protect yourself." Ooh. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuomo. We will. And apparently 30,000 people agreed with him. 30,000 people are going to wear a mask. Stop the spread. Protect yourself. Okay. Well, Fox News' Janice Dean posted this. Found this picture of someone without a mask on the internet today. She posted this yesterday. So on the same day that this man is lecturing the American people about wearing a mask, he is not doing the same. I think this is just indicative of the Democrat Party as a whole and the media and the leftist elites who want you to play by a certain set of rules, but they don't care about following the rules themselves, people. So let me know what you think about that one in the comments below. The next one is just an interesting little Twitter interaction that I saw. Check out what this leftist reporter tweeted. So first, check out the tweet on the bottom. These Danish Brotherhood Lodge members are going through the rubble by hand looking for all their photo albums. The business was destroyed in the Kenosha protests. Okay, hold on here. Kenosha protests? Kenosha protests. And look at the tweet up there at the top. He's like, protests? This is what the media is trying to continuously push everyone. That, oh, these are just peaceful protests, everyone. They're just expressing their First Amendment right. And look what Mike Cernovich posted. Protests? Is this what you call a protest? Is this seriously what you call a freaking protest? Look at the destruction. Look at the rubble. Look at the resin, everything left over from the fires and the breaking of windows. This building is collapsed because of peaceful protests, according to the media. Hey, liberal media, can I ask you a question? Does this look like a protest to you? Look at this. You would have think that this city went through a historic freaking tornado of some sort. Look at this. This is caused by left-wing rioters. People who are most likely going to be voting for Joe Biden. Can you believe this, you guys? Comment below and let me know what you think. Like, I want to hear from you. Would you classify these as peaceful protests or violent riots? I want, because guys, I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes. I feel like I'm going absolutely insane sometimes because I hear the media with a burning building behind them saying, oh yeah, guys, everything is okay here. Everything is totally fine. So comment below. Let me know if you think that these are peaceful protests or if these are violent riots. I want to hear from you. So, finishing off, I want to talk about a man named Matthew Drudge. Matt Drudge of the DrudgeReport.com. Guys, when I started really diving into the world of politics in really heavily in 2015, I would follow the Drudge Report religiously. He would always talk about the things that the liberal media wouldn't want to, and he had such influence. This guy gets, hundreds of millions of page views every single day. Now, I don't know what his traffic is like now. I know for sure it has dipped a little bit. But he would get hundreds of millions of page views a month. And he was pro-Trump in the beginning. Now, I don't know what happened. I believe it was around mid-2018, maybe like 2019 or so. Maybe mid-2018, part of 2019. He just started becoming anti-Trump. I don't know what happened. I always thought he was someone that couldn't be paid off because the guy was making $50 million a year, I believe it was, from his website. His net worth is through the roof. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he became a megaphone for the Democrat Party. So this is his headline in 2016 when Hillary had health issues. 2016, Hillary conquers the stairs. 2012, falls at home, blood clot. 2011, falls boarding plane. 2009, falls going to the White House, broken elbow. This is when Hillary Clinton had a hard time going up the stairs, everyone. Going up the stairs, all right? Well, now he's pushing a phony fake theory that President Trump had a stroke. This is the tale of two drudges. Trump denies many strokes sent him to hospital. Video dragging right leg. There are no words to explain what could have possibly happened to Matt Drudge. I want to hear your guys' comments because I know a lot of you guys have listened to Matt Drudge over the years. Mary says, no more Drudge for me. I totally agree. I don't know what happened to this guy. I don't know if he was able to be bought somehow. Jay Ash says they quit Drudge years ago when he first started dissing Trump. I don't understand what benefit Matt Drudge thinks he has by being anti-Trump. The Democrats are the ones that are going to silence Matt Drudge. If they gain power, they can gain power with powerful people on the internet servers and take his website down. In 2015, he was telling Alex Jones that they were trying to take his website down. I don't know what happened. I absolutely don't know what happened. Chad says that Drudge sold out. It's simple as that. The funny thing, though, is I don't know what he could have possibly sold out to. The guy's worth tens, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars. You see, and a lot of people are saying he was bought off. But you guys, there's a point where you make enough money to where, you have what's called FU money. Matt Drudge has had FU money for a long time, people. He had been running the Drudge Report for 15 years before, for about 18 years or more. Sorry, with the whole Monica Lewinsky story, about 20, 25 years before he started turning negative and really anti-conservative. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what's wrong with him. But if you guys want the true pro-Trump news of the day, make sure you're always going to trendingpolitics.com, everyone. That Kat has that's a very good thought there. Kat says maybe he's being blackmailed. That is something that I didn't think of until just now, Kat. That's a very, very good observation because I don't believe that he can possibly be persuaded by money anymore. This guy is worth a lot of money. There's only so much he can do with money anyways because the guy lives like a Kermit. I believe he lives here in Southern California, Los Angeles, and this guy is living by himself, I believe, or he's, in his own little corner, isolated. Maybe he's being blackmailed. Maybe some people high up there have threatened him. Yeah, I agree, you guys. So I don't know, but either way, Matt Drudge has been very, very disappointing. It's a very, very sad thing to see, you guys, and I don't know what else to say about that. But if you guys want a website that is always going to be fair, but also show the side of President Trump that the liberal media doesn't want you to see, then make sure to go to trendingpolitics.com, everyone, okay? So I'm going to finish off. If anyone wants to stick around one more time, I'm going to play that Trump ad one more time because I know a lot of people have just jumped on here. So I want to show you guys. If you guys already watched the ad, you don't want to watch it again, then you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will be on the same time tomorrow, so make sure to join me tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. There's always so much to talk about, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and play this Trump ad one more time, and then I'm going to bid you a farewell here in a second. So let's watch this Trump ad. This here positions the Democrat Party for exactly who they are. Riot baiting people who don't care if there's violence in the streets. Here we go.
The domestic enemies are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Flames rip through the lower level of St. John's Church.
And as you can see, there's definitely a fire here.
It's burning right now in the Fairfax district. Protesters confronted Republican Senator Rand Paul.
These people are tearing up our lives.
Extinguish the fire. Vote Republican on November 3rd. I agree, everyone. So, you guys have an amazing rest of your day. The liberal media and the Democrats, you saw them on video right there, calling for unrest in the streets. Maxine Waters telling her voters to harass members of the Trump administration, harass Trump voters and Trump supporters. And look what's happening in the streets of the United States of America now. They are following what Maxine Waters was saying. Maxine Waters, you got what you hoped for. Rand Paul was attacked. Trump supporters are being murdered. Unrest in the streets. Riots in the streets. And this is what the Democrats wanted. So I wanted to leave you off on a good note, everyone. I hope the ad was you enjoyed the ad. I'm sorry for leaving on a dark note there. But you guys all have an amazing rest of your day. And make sure to stick with us at trendingpolitics.com, everyone. Also, we are just about to ship out. Actually, we're just about to ship out our physical. Where are we at here? So we just hit our 1-year anniversary, everybody, of our physical monthly newsletter. So September, you're going to be getting if you are already subscribed, you're going to be getting a very special edition, our longest edition. Most of our newsletters are about 32 pages. This one is close to 40 pages. It's our 1-year anniversary edition for the Trending Politics newsletter. Go to tpnewsletter.com because going forward, any new signups going forward are going to be shipped the September newsletter. You're going to want to see it, everyone. I got to be totally honest with you. Whether you're watching this on Facebook or Google, we keep getting fact-checked. We keep getting videos removed. In fact, the very video that you're watching right now of me might get removed because I just played that ad. They are basically removing videos of ours that have to do with violence in Portland, of car dealerships being caught on fire. But guess what they can't censor? The good old-fashioned ink and paper. We ship this out once every single month. If you guys want, a lot of people like to collect them as like a, put it in their office, put it wherever. It's great. It's fun. We've got a lot of great things in here, you guys. We got a community brewing, and we can say whatever we want in here. Now, we try to bring you the truth online, but sadly, Google and Facebook don't like that very much. I hope I'm not poking the bear too much. If this live stream gets removed, guys, you know what happened. So go to tpnewsletter.com to get that today. And then always go to trendingpolitics.com. We're updating the site all day, every day. We got a lot of great articles coming for you the rest of the day. Everybody, you guys all have an amazing, amazing rest of your evening. You guys, my name is Clayton Kearns. Go follow me on Twitter at @ckearns. I'm going to put it here for you guys. So go follow me on @ckearns on Twitter right here, you guys. And I will, go ahead and shoot me a DM. I'll say hello to you, and then we'll go from there. Okay, everybody? So you'll have an amazing rest of your Tuesday. I wish you guys the best. I will see you tomorrow at the same time, everybody. You guys all have an amazing rest of your day, and I can't wait for our next episode. And I'll see you over there at trendingpolitics.com.